The Hilltop Glove podcast is sponsored by Mid Carolina Service Company.
Mid Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today. This episode of Hilltop Glove Podcast is proudly sponsored by Your Dollar Store, located at 3017 Farrell Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Owned by Brian Thomas, Your Dollar Store has been serving the community since June 2021 with a mission to provide fresh produce and essential household items to neighborhoods in need, serving areas like Booker Washington Heights and other nearby locations affected by grocery store closures. Your Dollar Store is a convenient one-stop shop for those seeking healthier food options and affordable essentials. Support a local business that's dedicated to giving back. Your Dollar Store, where you can shop, chat, and leave with a smile.
The Hilltop Glove podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove podcast.
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 The Hilltop Glove Podcast.
Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Hilltop Glove podcast. Today we are thrilled to have the remarkable Kiwan Fitch as our guest. Kiwan is a multifaceted powerhouse. She's a mother, entrepreneur, published author, and co-author of 10 books, a speaker, producer, playwright, coach, and so much more. With her vast experience and passion, she has made an incredible impact across various sectors. Kiwan owns and operates multiple businesses, showcasing her leadership skills. She has over 20 years of experience in the nonprofit organization, social services, leadership, and business markets. As the CEO of EmPOWERment Corp, LLC, she has dedicated her career to working with women and families in transition. Her company has achieved incredible milestones, producing 10 books, 6 live stage productions in South Carolina, 2 in New Jersey, and co-producing 2 in Louisiana. Kiwan's work has also graced several local events, including Imara's Women Magazine Health Tour and the Miss Born Natural Pageant. In 2023, Kiwan's first film project, She Pours, premiered, shining a light on the strength and perseverance of women. This film highlights their stories of overcoming their challenges, illustrating the power of support and empowerment among young women. With authenticity, these diverse women's voices depict how women nurture, cultivate, and manifest positive change, proving resilience in the face of hardship. These forward thinkers share their stories of overcoming life's trials with grace and triumph, offering unique perspectives and valuable lessons. Stay tuned for an enlightened episode with Coach K. So thank you for being here today. How are you?
I am so well. I'm so excited about this.
Yes. I mean, so you have so many job titles.
I do.
The list goes on. Every time I meet someone in the community and they mention your name, I'm like, wait, she helped you with that too? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I didn't even know she did all that. I just met you through the short film, but I met you through Corey, which was amazing. But I also know you through James Patrick also. So tell our audience a little bit about your upbringing.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you so much. I'm a transplant. I'm not a South Carolina. I'm not a country girl. I moved here almost 15 years ago. I'm a Jersey chick that just happened to land here. I came here to raise my boys. And when I got here, I spent my first year here doing absolutely nothing in the community. I didn't want to meet anybody. I didn't want to connect. I had no desire to infiltrate Columbia the way that I have. In my first year, I moved in 2010, August of 2010. It was the first time my boys were able to go to school and come home at 3 o'clock without having to be in some after school program till 7 in the evening. And I used that time to finish my first book, which I published in 2011. And then I did another in 2012 and another in 2013. And I just, in that bubble of kind of regrouping, leaving, where I was born and raised, and then coming to a place that I was not, I won't say that I wasn't thrilled about coming to the South, but I wanted my boys to have a different experience. We're from Jersey City. Mm-hmm. There's rural parts of Jersey that looks exactly like South Carolina, but where I'm from is basically considered the sixth borough. Mm-hmm. So my eldest at the time was just supposed to be graduating high school, and he ended up having to do another semester. We had a really rocky time with, a lot of influences outside of our home. Private school, but he still was very much attracted to a whole lot of other stuff. And I just said with my younger boys who were 10 years behind him, I didn't want to have to go through that. I didn't want him to go through all that he had to walk through Martin Luther King to go to his private school. And it was just a decision to get here and see how I can make a difference in their lives. And fast forward, we got here, they were 6 and 7. They are now 20 and 21. I think they are. Dave will be, he's the baby boy is in his third year at Wingate. He has a game today. I didn't go to his game at 1:30 today in order to be here. But they're in the championship next weekend, so it's okay. And his third year in college and playing ball and throwing the shot put and doing extremely well. And his Irish twin brother he took his 27 credits and went to the military. He's actually in training in California right now, and he'll go back to Killeen, Texas in a couple of weeks. And my eldest, who I did not have to pull kicking and screaming to come to South Carolina. He got here, found him a woman, and girl.
Ain't gotta worry about him no more.
Listen, I am a proud mother of a young man who is 32, married with 5 kids, and all of them are with the same woman. So.
Wait, that's the baby?
No, that's the oldest. The oldest.
He went through it.
What you say? I mean, but it's the fabric of kind of what makes Kiwan who she is. All the work that I've done in a variety of different areas have always been about how do I help women share their stories? How do I help women connect to their purpose? And every piece of what I've done just led to something else. It wasn't that I started out that I was going to do nonprofit leadership. Unfortunately or fortunately, I've only worked in nonprofits. So when I started doing personal development, I created a curriculum that was really for me. So that I would have my own tool to work with the individuals that I was working with. And then I said, you know what? There's other women who might want to use this. Mm-hmm. So Journey Towards Purpose Global Institute was born. The company came after the product. So I started doing it. I started making my own, my way of working with women, and I just kind of morphed that into an actual curriculum. I know some people with some letters behind their name, so I got their input, and it rolled from there. And I have been certifying people and coaches in my curriculum as a purpose coach to utilize my product and others. And then I added a leadership curriculum to that. And with that, what happens when you give someone a tool, they say they want to make a business. So then it morphed into, well, now I'm starting to help people with not only their LLCs, but I'm doing nonprofits and doing nonprofit leadership, because a lot of people want to do great work, but they have no clue what the heck they're doing. And so it just one thing has led to the other. So but it all blends together. Most of my clients are women. I do have a few guys like our friend James who will say, "Hey, Kiwan, I need, my business, whatever." I never forget, he was in a meeting or something. He was like, "Hey, do you have my EIN and my stuff?" And I was able to scan and send it to him. But I just I want to be a change agent. I want to be a partner. I want to align with folks to help them do whatever God called them to do. And in that, all of the different hats have kind of come over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm sitting over here and taking everything in. I'm like, oh, girl, check. I relate to that. Oh, girl, we gonna talk.
That's why I wanted Desiree on this episode, because I know she would be good at asking nonprofit questions.
Oh, I got a bunch of them too, because I'm one of the ones that's just like, oh, there's something I see, I want it done, I'm gonna do it. Now, do I know exactly what the official steps are?
Let me say this. This is just my soapbox. I am on a mission now to, it seemed like when COVID happened, a lot of people got really invigorated with how to help people, and they want to figure out how to do that. My business grew exponentially, when during that time. From 2020 to 23, I've done so many, not just South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, New Jersey, several. I am on a mission now. We don't need to create a whole corporation and get involved with the IRS to do what God has called you to do.
Oh, exactly.
It's not necessary. Create your LLC, do your business, find another nonprofit that's already existing or doing the work that you want to do. Support, write it off. With your company. I began creating products because I want to teach my women it's not just about how we going out here and feeding people or helping the, backpacks, and we're doing all this amazing stuff. My kids have gotten Christmases from people who were doing all that amazing stuff. It's wonderful.
See, I kind of wanted to jump back a little bit, because in the beginning, you came, you're not even from here. You're, what they call transplant. And a lot of people that I see that are actually doing and making the change aren't.
Because we can see outside of what the people who've grown up here.
Yes. And so my question for you was, when did you decide that, okay, I'm not just a transplant. I have kids here. I want to see more of the community I'm putting myself in. Like, when did you decide that?
I got roped in. I won't say kicking and screaming. But I think the first time that I actually, it was the boys were going to Pine Grove Elementary. And the teachers and the staff have been really supportive of them. It was our first year. They started playing football with a team that literally, when I was walking in the school to register them, there was a woman walking in next to me who was going to bring information about a football program. That's how it started. And they were doing parents in something. I can't remember what it was called. But with that, I remember the counselor said something, and I said, well, I did a project called Confessions of a Welfare Mom. And she's like, well, would you like to do a group for the parents for this thing that they were, and I said, sure. And it was the first workshop that I had ever done here. I did it at Pine Grove, and it was a few parents, one of which is still connected to me to this day. So we're going on almost, 15, 20 years. And she, I didn't know. It just kind of happened. I saw something. I said, this is what I have. And people said, sure. Being on the outside looking in, I see some things. One of the things that's still an issue for me is that there are no prevention services. Lots of reactive, lots of things that, if you're a teen parent, there's stuff. But where's the prevention stuff? How the money goes in the wrong place, in my opinion here. I want to do child abuse prevention. I think that if you help women, you give women resources, you give families what they need, we might not be so stressed and knock the kid upside the head. Right. So we can do better if we put our funds into the resources needed ahead of the issues as opposed to after the fact. Yeah. Yeah, I was a single mom. It was rough. It was
Preach.
It was
They
rough.
need to hear it.
Listen, and those boys needed a real, a mama who would, not go outside there. But I just, wherever the need was, people, say, you do too much. You got a whole lot. There's the books, there's the films, there's the plays and all of the different things, but all of it is about giving women a platform.
Yeah.
Period. And I'm not into the arts. I mean, I think what you guys do is phenomenal. It was never something that I wanted to do. I can remember back when I really first started. I was 7. Wow. I wanted to hang out with my friend Donna. Donna's mother was in the hospital, and her little brother, who was probably about 3. Donna was actually older than me. So we wanted to go outside and play. Donna couldn't go because, she had this little kid because her 2 older brother and sister, they're gone, right? And I was like, well, let's find him some clothes so he could come, we don't have to sit in this house. You can come out, you can come outside. And I went in Donna's house, which was a absolute mess. My mother is still to this day. She's very neat. She's very clean. She had lots of knickknacks, and on Saturday morning, me and my sister had the dust. So it was like, oh, wow. If there were dressers, the clothes was all in bags. I had never seen, kitchen look like that, or, if there were beds, I just, and I remember feeling so, it invigorated me, looking through them bags, trying to find something for this boy to put on. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it wasn't clean, but we got some shorts and a t-shirt.
Okay, you said if there were beds? Wait.
I don't.
So she don't know.
I don't remember.
Like, oh.
I don't remember. It wasn't like a bedroom with a bed, a dresser.
Okay, sorry.
And, some toys. Like that was not the picture at all. Mm-hmm. At all. And, that's just how they were living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's because the mother was sick, or
she probably just didn't have resources or help.
I'm sure there was some drug addiction. There was a lot going on in this family, and when I tell this story, I know for a fact that my mother had no idea that I was in these people's house
and what you saw, and she wouldn't have never probably let you.
It was the first time I ever cooked bacon by myself. Ooh. They had food because I'm sure there was food stamps. Yeah, there was food, and I cooked and served the little boy, and we went outside, and I felt like I was grown. I did it, whatever the it was, and with that came, I like that. I like taking care of people. I like doing what needs to be done for us to be able to do that. Yeah. And it was wonderful feeling for me, and I rolled with it. And, my career has been social services, and I've ran a Battered Women's program. I've worked Covenant House 9 line doing crisis intervention over the phone.
Wow, you've done it all.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even want to, your resume probably like 5 pages.
She said that's not even the half.
I'd be trying not, I pull from all those different experiences. I've had jobs I know that I didn't apply for.
Yeah.
I know I didn't. I didn't apply for that. It was that 9 line. I don't know how that happened.
So then my next question kind of is, walking in your purpose, doing what you're called to do, because so many people, we have like this burning desire that we're supposed to do more. But then you have that question of what it is that you're supposed to do. And then you end up finding yourself walking in it if you, really like, cause you were a doer, right? That's the difference, right? We can think things, but if we don't do it or put it into action, then it never gets done. So, what would you say to people in that burning desire phase? Like, how do they get
it depends
from
on
the
how
other
close
side?
They are to me, which Kiwan you might get. Now,
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, girl, because with the closer you are to me, the more Jersey Kiwan you might get.
Oh, okay.
Some Southern young people, some people don't, they don't want to hear the message from the doer. And you got something and you not doing, that's a whole different.
Oh, okay. She said, do you want the truth or the light truth?
It comes across differently when I'm speaking to someone.
Speak to a doer.
Woo.
Go ahead. My family from north up north, all of them.
Love it.
I can take it.
Oh, yes. First of all, I need to be you need to be able to understand why you haven't. There has to be reasons, right? There's got to be reasons. I was talking to someone the other day, and she's used to be a doer. And she's gotten some health stuff, and it just seemed like all of a sudden she's crippled and she can't, and I said, well, I need you to do a brain dump. One of the things that people they get all caught up in, it's not organized.
Yeah.
It's here, there, everywhere. Nothing is connected. You can't do that with it in your head.
Yeah.
And you can't do what you don't know to do. And you can't get the help that you need to do it if you don't take it out of your head.
Yeah.
That part.
I can't help you. Everything that you want to do, I might know someone who can help you do every piece of it. But as long as it stays in your head, that's it, and it's not going to get done. And darling, I can't do nothing with that.
So is this where the purpose coaching comes in, the personal development?
Absolutely. It's built on 5 principles: passion, purpose, mentorship, work, and leadership.
Okay.
Passion is wonderful. That's that stuff.
Fire.
That fire. It invigorates us. We're going to do it whether we like it
Or not.
like to want
paid.
conditions or whatever, right? We're going to do it. You're going to show up. You're going to do this stuff regardless. I'm going to plan the event with a $0 budget because that's just what I want to do. But when you connect it to your purpose, when you connect it to what you know that God has truly called you here to do, baby, it's not a hobby. It's not a hobby.
So what
because
it
it has
turns into
purpose.
your purpose. Okay.
Because it has purpose, it's no longer just something you like to do.
Now, I've heard something that passion is something that you like to do for yourself, and purpose is something you like to do for others.
I believe that purpose gives. I think that passion gives purpose a place to go.
Yep.
Okay. It gives it a place to go because my purpose could solely be for my family. It could. But those are my others. I just kind of went outside of my family. It was self, it was community, and so on. You have to figure that out. I can't figure that out for you.
Right.
And a lot of us don't take that time, especially women, because we're so busy doing. We're so busy just providing. We're so busy doing a whole bunch of other stuff. But baby, if you take that time to just do the brain dump, and that's one of my instructions for a good friend of mine. I need you to do the brain dump. I don't think about the time. Don't think about, how long it was. I didn't give you a time frame. I didn't say brain dump for the next 1 to 2 years. No, it was everything.
Well, see, I'm a Virgo. So in my brain dump, it's about a 5-year plan.
But that's so organized, and you can't see it all if you hold back pieces.
Oh no, I just did a brain dump 2 days ago because I had to, because I had lost the ability to actually use my planner. And I was like, my planner, was the way that I could just get things out of my head, and I didn't have to be responsible for them. My planner became the responsibility, right? So I would just go to it. And over the last 6 months, it's been chaotic, but I feel like there's a lesson there too, because in being and striving for perfection, that's unrealistic, right? So you have to learn how to pivot, and you have to learn how to take what's been thrown at you and make a gourmet meal, right? Yep. So I definitely understand that, but I definitely gonna hit you up. We gonna talk over there in the corner because it's so much more. And I would like that direction. I would like that organization because I like organization.
Yeah, and that's needed to actually be successful in what it is that you truly want to do. It's necessary. The problem is we get stuck and then we don't move. We don't actually act. We don't actually do.
I might not move. For a month or 2, maybe 3.
So Virgos, we don't stay stuck.
Do you know how many people have come to me to help them fix a nonprofit that they incorporated in the state? They never did their federal paperwork, and it's been 4 or 5 years.
And how do you help them with that process?
Well, it depends on what it is that they want to do. Because if you just incorporate it in the state, it's not as much of a big deal. Now, if you incorporate it and you got your actual 501c and you didn't do anything, that is a bigger deal because that means that you haven't been filing taxes because you decided to get involved with the IRS and create an entity that you're not paying taxes for. well, not paying taxes, but at least you have to report your income for the organization.
990.
Yes, ma'am. That's the 990. And if you're not doing that and you have an organization that you're not doing anything with, it's fine to basically say we didn't, but you have to say.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying if someone turned their nonprofit into an actual LLC?
No, she's just saying if you're not doing nothing with your nonprofit.
It depends on where it's incorporated. If you've done both pieces, there's 3 parts to creating a nonprofit organization. There's the state incorporation. First of all, your EAM, but your state incorporation, right? That in that piece, then you go to the IRS and you do that piece, which is your 501c. After that, you got to come back. South Carolina has a charities registration. Mm-hmm. That means that if you haven't done that third piece, which is register as a charity, you're not supposed to be soliciting funds in the state of South Carolina. I had a lot of those too.
I think
I know.
I don't think we did that third piece.
I think it was like 10.
So and then one of the things that I started doing was nonprofit leadership courses, conferences, and getting bringing grant writers, which I love them. I have a good friend. We work together very, very well because a lot of people come and they want funding, but they're not grant ready. Mm-hmm. You don't have all your stuff together. Yeah. If you're not, you don't even have that charities registration in the state that you're in. You don't have a real concrete plan for the organization. Your mission statement needs a little bit of work. You're not aligned with yourself. You have a board really that is one. You put your girlfriends and your sister and your peoples on there who you shouldn't be putting on there, and you're not operating like an entity.
Let's talk about that. How do you decipher who's going to be on your board for a nonprofit? Who are some good people that we should consider? What are their job occupations?
You have to go start with your mission.
Your mission, okay.
Look at your mission. If this is the mission of the organization, what do you need? We always need to start with, you need someone from education. You need someone from medical. You need someone from legal. You need someone from accounting. All of those different pieces are the things that the organization need. But those people still need to be aligned with your mission. Mm-hmm. If this is an attorney and they do family law, then maybe that's a good thing. But if you are doing something where you're doing coding for girls or whatever, that's what you guys are doing, maybe you need to have a different kind of an attorney. You need somebody who actually does business law or intellectual property law, with, what do you call that? I can't think, but just think of the people who are supposed to be actually running the organization, because it's not a solo thing. Those folks need to align with your mission in order for you to find who out in the world will align with you. That's how funding happens. If I only fund organizations that work with babies, and this is all they do. That's all they. Why are you coming to me for funding for, send the girls to wherever? Like, it doesn't match. So there's a lot of research and time that needs to happen behind the scenes, and people are in a rush. They want to do it quick. Who's giving you their money and you have not proved that you are worthy? You have no statistics. You've not done anything. You've had 1,001 events. You ain't do not one sign-in sheet to show how many people you've actually touched.
Or you need the data too.
Absolutely. You have to keep those kind of records. How many people have you touched? How many people? Where are you trying to go? Who are your partners? Who's working with you? Who know who you are?
Like,
I know who I am.
Who your people?
My mama.
Do letters of support and letters of recommendation
Absolutely.
help too?
You need to have those. Even if you're not going to use them now. I remember when I asked a friend, PhD, can I have your resume? Just because I might need you for something and I need to be able to have it when I need it, not, wait for you to give it to me. But that's the collection of your resources and information that you need to be doing as you're building your organization.
So as a business owner, entrepreneur, you suggest having a resume, and then, because I'm sitting here like, well, how would you structure a resume for?
Well, I mean, the resume of the people who you are connected to.
Okay. As far as the nonprofit and okay.
I'm an entrepreneur. I always say, I hire what I need. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this.
She said, I'm buying my time back.
No,
you outsource.
But I need to have those people already there,
And
ready.
you know their credentials.
There you
Yeah,
go.
okay,
There
I
you go.
see.
Because if I'm putting together a grant package, and if this is what I do, then I should have those folks already in my repertoire because I'm supposed to be doing it.
Already,
And let me
yeah.
also say this, about nonprofits. You have to do what you were called to do as your company, as your organization, with no money before anybody will give you money to do it. You got to create a path of credibility. Okay. If I have never done a women's program, if I had never connected with, like, there's no credibility if anybody wanted to research and see, what's what, because that's nobody does that. Nobody does that. Not with no real money. Now you might get you a good $2,500 from somebody, a small organization or something like that, and that's great. I did a girls group. I started it in Jersey many years, and I decided to do it here. It was supposed to be a 1-week summer program. Well, we did 5 years. And it was absolutely phenomenal. In that 5 years, we had one grant that was renewable. I think we had that grant for maybe 2 or 3 years. After that, I said, yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing that no more. Because one of your questions was about funding. I have consistently been self-funded, period. My own fundraisers. If basically I looked at the budget, we have 20 girls. This is what we're trying to do. This is how much we need. Sponsorships. I need, 20 people to give us $50 for these, and keeping it simple.
And you get it every time?
Because
You meet your
I
goal
wasn't trying to do too much now. The week, and we probably met every other month, depending on what we had to do. But there also, we had to align with other organizations. You offering this, I got the population. So I never skimped on what we offered the girls. It just had to be creative on how we were going to go about doing
And
it.
bringing it all together.
Absolutely.
Okay. That makes sense.
Your wheels are turning. That's good.
So what are some tips you have for organizations to improve their internal process?
That is first of all, you have to have a board that you can work with. You're the visionary behind it. I get it, but a nonprofit corporation is run by a board of directors. You need to be able to work with those folks. They need to be aligned with you. My biggest tip is your board shouldn't be no more than 3 people.
Really?
President, secretary, treasurer. That's all the IRS requires. Other than that, there are some great people who are aligned with you, who come, they set up the chairs, they, always going to support, they're going to bring the food, all of that stuff. That's your advisory board. They are not legal decision makers.
Okay.
Your board, their legal name and what have you is registered with the state and the federal government as your board of directors. When you are doing grants, they ask who's on your board. Their names are on that. Do you need your sister who, helps out with your events on your board, or as your advisory board who helps out and offers insight and all that kind of stuff? It's a whole different thing. And if you are not, I guess, keeping that log of who's on your board, you can lose funding. I had 2 different grant writers that presented at conferences that talked about people who have lost funding because now funders are asking. And if you can't produce that list quickly, then that means that you're creating it.
All late. They no, we need it. Yeah.
We need to know who you're aligned with.
Yeah.
Lots of organizations, and I don't know how often they're doing it as much now. Things have shifted so much post-COVID, but lots of organizations were used to pay people, their staff, to go and be a part of organizations. Verizon, they would want them to connect in the community and different things like that. I never forget, in Newark, New Jersey, we had a program where Verizon employees, they were collecting coats and all this other stuff. They got paid for volunteer hours, $40 a piece. No, I'm sorry. Our organization got paid for it. So them coming and volunteering and doing work with our organization, their company paid us for it. But they got to use their time for over here. So But again, alignment. If you set yourself up to align with certain organizations who have a mission for whatever their philanthropic, area is, and they support what you do, then when they have opportunities like that, there's a company, Benevolent or something like that. It's some, jazzy name or whatever, but for the employees of Microsoft. So if they want to be able to donate, from their check, however, often, but you had to have somebody from there that met you and, we want to get you on that list so that I can just send you money from there. And other people in my company might be able to do the same. There's lots of that around, but you have to find the way in.
Right.
But you network, you talk to people, you never know. But if you don't share your mission and you don't share what you're doing, then people won't be able to align with you.
Yeah.
But that comes from clarity of purpose. You have to know who you are as an organization. You have to know what you're trying to achieve. And that's why I said I'm on a mission to move people, because you don't have to get all, I don't need a full corporation. I don't need a board of 10. I don't need all of this stuff. If there are adolescent girls that I want to serve, I can serve them without having to do all of that. I have a contract now. I work with the City of Columbia. We have a great program. We're going into year 3 called Gen Z, Growing Up Gen Z. I'm a life coach.
Oh, wow.
I'm connected. Listen, baby had the nerve. It was so funny. So when you're working with adolescents, a part of the program, because it's actually a grant that is between Columbia Housing and DHEC. So part of it is pregnancy prevention, education and all that stuff. So I got about 1,000 condoms in the car. So if anybody were to go in my car, you'd be like, okay,
You get a condom. You get a condom.
why is she, he could say, babe, you need to get this stuff out of here.
They
Like
gonna
this.
think we up to something else.
I could just go and can't pass them out. But another friend with a nonprofit that serves adolescents, I was able to give her a ton. But
you might need them.
absolutely. But a part of the program is educating our young people. But that's what I do.
Now, let's shift into She Pours.
Girl,
let's talk about that whole adventure.
I don't know what to say. Okay, so She Pours was not even supposed to be what it turned out to be, but other than this is what God had. I did something at it was like a lounge spot, right? And so you ever be in a nice space, like you can come to Miss Judy's spot and, be like, I could do this here, or I could do this here. And in that space, I saw this bar with a bartender and people coming and talking and women coming and sharing. And I told it to Corey. We used that spot. Remember he did a scary movie a gazillion years ago? Him and Arisha. It was really funny, right? So we used that spot to screen it. Mm-hmm. I told him about the project. And so for years, it was, when we're going to do the bar project? When we're going to do the bar project? And that's what it was called. It was the bar project. When God released it, he gave me She Pours. And the concept for it, and I didn't want it relationship based. I wanted it to be women's stories that was not about domestic violence. And so we chose 4 women, 4 stories, and I don't know, I've become the queen of monologues. I've done several, all of my, we did one play, but which was the mental health play. I did it at the Comedy House, but we really, have kind of honed in on if it's a woman sharing her story, the monologue just works. Mm-hmm. So Confessions of a Welfare Mom became Finding Hope in the Struggle on the monologue style. We did that in New Orleans. We did it in Jersey. It's just the style of what I like. And so that's how we filmed the short film, which is now on Amazon Prime. Mm.
Check it out.
You can download it. You can buy it for $9.99 or rent it for $2.99. It's just really, really dope. And, so we're working on a film feature, we're in development. Oh, my God, the stories of these women are just, yeah.
I was blown away at the premiere because, I was there for the whole day of taping, but
she's
when
in
you
it.
see everything, when you see everything put together, you're like, wow, I was a part of that. And then you're like, wow, the impact it'll have. So I'm very proud of you for producing.
Proud of you. I'm so grateful that people say yes. Yeah. When you have stuff in your head that you want to do, you know, it's pretty awesome when somebody aligns with you and says, "Hey, I'd like to be a part of that project." Then it lets me know that we're on the right track, that I'm on the right track.
You are.
Thank you.
Now, out of all your jobs, my last question, what's your favorite?
Oh.
What do you like to do the most out of everything?
The personal development. I can teach J2P, which is Journey Towards Purpose. I can teach that curriculum every day. We just finished up with 10 weeks with 3 ladies who are becoming certified purpose coaches. And I have a full-time job. I'm a licensed property manager. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
Are you a Virgo?
No. I'm an Aries.
Oh.
So I literally leave, you know, from there between my property management company, HUD, and my senior citizen, and I come home. And every day I can jump. This past week, every single day, but did I have a Zoom last night at 7? I might have. Every day, 7 o'clock, I was on a Zoom for something. She Pours is just such an outward expression of that. You know, doing the personal development and especially helping other women who want to serve. It's a tool. You know, I cannot stand people who won't, you know, I don't think everybody needs a 4-year education to be able to impact. You don't necessarily need that, but you need something. Mm-hmm. So why won't you just spend this $1,000 and get you certified and have the support team, resources and tools, and the clinical piece, because there's a lot of hurting people out here. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have the support and you go out here and say something that's going, and you know, these people do some things, you know, you'll be very upset that you called yourself a coach and didn't have any kind of team, any kind of anything behind you, you know. So I can do that every single day. You know, I get to get She Pours. She Pours is a book. I tell you that?
No.
Oh, girl, we got an anthology getting ready to drop.
Okay.
21 women shared their story in the She Pours anthology, and I already have about 6 women for the 2nd volume.
You on it.
Girl. So, yeah, we're doing more personal development courses. I have 6 that I've already finished and still kind of, you know, playing with. One will start December 14th. 5... something about understanding your purpose and that kind of thing. I just want to teach people, especially women, how to align with more than other stuff, but align with ourselves so that we can do better.
Yeah.
That's all.
And tell us about the book that you have.
That's Becoming Coach K, Birthing Purpose. That's the first book that I did that was not an anthology, and it's just my story. Birthing Purpose. I work with an amazing coach, Tori Stocker, and he's actually the book coach who's working with the authors for the She Pours anthology, which drops November 30th. I did a whole different style. The women did not write. I interviewed them, and so they didn't have the right to do to their submission. And so we had a reading. That's what was all these Zooms this week. We had a reading, and them hearing their words back to them. I mean, it was quite emotional, so it's been such an amazing journey. And I started that project in February of this year. So we're finally about to go to print.
Wrap it up, yeah.
Yes, it is done. It is done. But I created a scent, and actually there's 2 scents. I'm not a scientist. Somebody else could do it. But I was in the lab and created these 2 sets. And I named them She is Coach K and the J2P Classic. Aromatherapy, when you're doing personal development, works. And if I am truly want to be a holistic, not just give them the tools, but how do I help women relax? I am not a massage therapist and never will be. It was just my way of helping to create a certain type of space.
You got lavender in there?
I do.
Okay, I love some lavender.
I do. I love the formula. I am the room spray. It's candles and room sprays. It's 2 different candles, 2 different room sprays, and the room sprays. Because he, the guy, the owner, he liked it so much. This great couple on Sparkleberry, WM. Oh God, Essentials. So they're making it into a wearable scent.
Oh, okay.
So that's coming because all of this great work and helping people find their purpose and all that stuff. Sister gotta
You gotta smell good while you're doing it too.
I got grandchildren too. Yes.
So how can people find you on social media, follow, support?
At Kiwan Fitch, KIWANFITCH MBA. And then my website is sheiscoachk.com.
And are you looking to partner with anybody?
Absolutely.
Like who?
I am always looking for opportunities to share all of the different things, I guess, with the books and the products and that kind of stuff. But any kind of opportunity I'm looking for now is specifically about how do I align my personal development curriculum with the populations that need. We have a foster care crisis happening right now. We have a crisis with our women who are incarcerated. We have a crisis with DJJ. So how do I bring what I offer? And I've actually been working on to add the financial literacy component and education component to it so that it kind of has a full rounded opportunity so that we can be the missing piece. There's not things happening in those different spaces, but there's something missing because people aren't getting what they need.
Yeah, it's a missing link.
There's a missing link, and I believe that Journey Towards Purpose can fill that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being so purposeful.
Oh, I love you.
Walking in your purpose.
I'm going to keep doing it, honey.
And we appreciate you for sharing all the gems today, because I'm going to definitely go back and listen to this episode and write down everything. And, I already have your contact information.
Absolutely. Please reach out however I can help. All of the hats, doing this stuff is the best part.
The Hilltop Girl Podcast.